Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to do a breakdown of the trailer we got for The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 16, titled The Storm, which is the season finale. I can't believe it's already the season finale. This season flew by. But The Walking Dead is still hot, so no worries. We got Season 10 filming coming up next month, and we got a lot of news that's probably going to hit the surface, for Season 10. Also, Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 is coming back, and last night on The Talking Dead, Scott Gimple said they have a lot of announcements to be making soon. So, to be kept up to date with anything new that comes out Walking Dead related, hit that subscribe button, but let's get into this trailer. First thing I want to say is that I love this title, The Storm. First of all, it fits well with the title before, episode 15, The Calm before, and then The Storm. But the title has like two meanings. We got both the literal and figurative meaning, because we got the storm against the Whispers, after the aftermath of the Pikes, we have to get ready for a war. And then also there's a literal storm happening, a blizzard. And that's what I'm most excited for this episode, honestly, because, snow is something that we've been asking for a long time. I know a lot of Walking Dead fans, including myself, have been asking for snow, and we've been wanting to see snow, and we're finally getting it. And I can't wait to see how the walkers move in the snow. We do get a glimpse of that in the trailer that we're going to talk about, but the big thing that we find out right away is that the kingdom has fallen. The trailer opens up with King Ezekiel, closing the doors of the kingdom, and he says, "We kept trying to hold on, but it fell." So I love how this is very sad, but I do like how they brought back, the thing early on in the season, episode 6, when they had those issues with the pipes. I do like how they actually brought that back and they had a purpose rather than just like an issue in the episode, because those pipes are most likely the reason why this happened. The storm, the snow caused those pipes to freeze, which obviously would pretty much, make it impossible to live there, because they're obviously going to have issues with water and heating and just everyday type things you need to live. So it's going to be interesting to see if they ever come back to the kingdom, because I do like the kingdom. There's something about the kingdom, a good feel to it. But I'm also very interested to see if they're going to split, because the kingdom has a lot of people. It's one of the most populated communities. They have a lot of kids, a lot of families. So it's going to be interesting to see if they go to Alexandria or the Hilltop, or they split. But yeah, the kingdom looks to be done for now. And then we have this shot right here. It's the season finale, and you have a bunch of walkers walking in this field. Now, you know what this kind of reminds me of back in season 2, and that was in this scene where Rick and Shane were in the car. And Shane was looking at that one walker walking in the field, and that scene was also in the credits. It was a very popular scene, and I don't know why, but this definitely reminds me of that. And what's interesting is in that scene, Rick and Shane were talking about winter and how how the walkers are going to change when it gets cold outside. So I don't know why. I feel like it has to be done on purpose. Just something about this definitely reminds me of that scene. And then we have the group traveling on the snow, and look at all these footprints from the walkers. That's so cool. But Michonne says this storm could make these roads impassable for weeks. So it looks like they're gonna have to set up somewhere, because obviously they can't travel in the cold, and they have a lot of people with them. But what's interesting is that this season, or the season finale, this episode has taken a turn that I did not expect, because most season finales, they set up the next episode, or the next season, I should say. And what's interesting is that I thought for so long that the Pikes were going to be in the finale, but it turns out that they're not, and there's one more episode. So I'm just interested to see how this episode is going to turn out and how it's going to end, because it has to set up the next season. So this season just took a turn that I did not expect in the finale to bring us this storm and a snow episode. Yeah, and then we have them opening up these doors. So they're obviously camping inside of little buildings and stuff. And then we have this shot here of all of them super close together. And then we have a shot of Michonne next to Alden here, and they're all super covered up, and they're outside. So it looks like they're going to leave the kingdom, and they can't even go back to Alexandria or the Hilltop. So they're going to be stuck on the road because of how bad this storm is. And just a second ago, I was talking about how this episode needs to set up the next season, which most likely will be the Whisper War. And it looks like that's what they are going to be setting up, the Whisper War, because the next scene, we have them in front of the Pikes, and they obviously removed all the heads and stuff, which I liked. And then they cross, the Pikes. They go into Alpha's territory. And we even have Ezekiel saying during the trailer, crossing Alpha's territory, we trigger a war. And the more I think about this, I like how we're heading into the Whisper War, and I think they handled the Whispers perfectly. This first arc from the Whispers, I thought they handled it perfectly. There was no beating around the bush of, oh, we're getting ready for war, oh, we're gonna go to war, no, we're gonna go to war next season, no, we're gonna go to war next episode. They just did their own thing, they were minding their own business. Shit went bad. Alpha killed some of the people, and now they're going to war. It was just like straightforward. There's no like beating around the bush and waiting for the best opportunity to go to war. They just went to war as soon as the shit hit the roof. So I liked how they handled the Whispers better than the Saviors. I think I'm pretty confident in saying that now. And it's all due to Angela Kang, or should I say Angela King? No, but seriously, I think all it took was somebody to listen to the fan base, because I don't see any Walking Dead fans really complaining this season, which I know Walking Dead fans aren't like biased or anything, because I do remember the last 2 seasons there were a lot of people who love The Walking Dead that were complaining about the show. Like, they were complaining about things that they didn't like. So I know people are being honest when they say they love this season. They're not just like kissing ass. They really love the season. Compared to the last 2 seasons, it's obviously been really good. Next in the trailer, we have Carol saying we didn't agree to those orders, and I believe she's talking to Ezekiel here. I kind of see the 2 scenes going hand in hand when Ezekiel says if we cross into the territory, we're triggering a war. I do believe Carol's going to respond by saying we didn't agree to those orders. And it would make sense for Carol to feel that way, because I don't think Carol's going to be scared of the Whispers and scared of a war, because they literally killed Henry, her son. I think she's up for a war, to be honest. Like, I think she's ready to fight the Whispers. Next, we have a shot of a walker covered in snow. And this is the best. Look at this. This is just beautiful. It definitely reminds me of those White Walkers from Game of Thrones, if you watch Game of Thrones. This is just so awesome. And, I know I keep saying this season is amazing, but as amazing this season is, on top of that, to wrap it up for the finale, they're giving fans something everybody's been asking for a long time: snow. And then we got a quick few shots of the group fighting some walkers. We have Alden here. I think he's trying to like help somebody or distract a walker, and then Michonne like slices the walker in the snow. But this next scene is very intense that I want to talk about. The next scene, we have Lydia holding the spear up to her neck, basically like, looks like she wants to kill herself or something. And that's very intense to watch, because this is gonna, I feel really, really sorry for Lydia. First of all, it's not her fault what happened, but she obviously is gonna be blaming herself because she was the one at the kingdom, which caused her mother to go there. But I don't think anybody on the show, I don't think anybody's really going to blame her, not even Carol, who lost her son. Like, she's going to say, like, everybody knows Alpha is, like, not right in the head. So, obviously, it's not Lydia's fault. At the end of the trailer, Carol also says those orders are hers, not ours. So, like I said, I love how they're not being scared of the Whispers, and it looks like they're going to go straight into war. That's why I also think, like, the Whisper War isn't going to last an entire season like the Savior War did, All Out War. I don't think it's going to last all of season 10. I think it's only going to last the first half of season 10, and I think the second half is going to slowly go into the Commonwealth, which I also think this season, this season finale may also set up that, because that radio is very important also, and we've been seeing them messing around with that radio all season, Gabriel and Eugene. So I made a video talking about that on my channel if you want to go check it out, but I do think there is a possibility of Eugene coming in contact with Rick Grimes or the Commonwealth, and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen in the finale, because it's not too early. The same thing kind of happens in the comics. Like, it's just like a voice in the radio. I don't think it's like a too big of a step. I know we're dealing with the Whispers, but I think it's safe to do that, right? And it would get us excited for the next season, right? Like, we all know the Whisper War is coming up, but maybe some people don't really expect the voice on the radio. And if it's Rick's voice, that's going to get people excited for the Rick Grimes movies also, which they are going to be making announcements soon, which I can't wait for that. Hopefully the news we get is some sort of like production news or director news. I want to know who's directing this. Like, that's one of the things I'm very interested in. Like, we know who the writer is. We know who's going to be in the movie. I just want to know who's directing it. That's something I'm very interested in. And when they're going to start filming and when we can expect it. But it does look like it's going to be a 2020 release. But any new news we get, I am obviously going to be making a video on it, so stay tuned for that. Another thing that I want to talk about in the trailer is something that Alden said. He said, like, is it one of them during the trailer, obviously referring to the Whispers, because I think it's going to be really cool if the Whispers are here also, and, seeing the Whispers covered in snow, because we already know how hard it is to tell the difference between a Whisper and a Walker, just by looking at their skin sometimes in the dark. Imagine in the snow, right? It's foggy, it's dark, it's snowing. It's going to be literally impossible to tell the difference between a Walker and a Whisper. But with that being being said, I don't know if we're gonna get the whispers in this episode, because it looks like this episode is gonna be more of an internal episode, you know, dealing with conflict, and more of a surviving episode of dealing with the snow and like the aftermath of the pikes. I just don't know if we're gonna get the whispers in it. We'll see. I really hope we do. I think it's gonna be cool, but I am kind of expecting them to not have the whispers in this episode and waiting for the, you know, season 10 Whisper War, and this episode being more of a, you know, deeper episode dealing with the aftermath and them, you know, trying to, you know, make it back home through the snow. And if I could throw out like one wild prediction on how I think the episode would end, I would say they're gonna get back home safely, the snow is gonna melt, and then they're gonna do the radio thing. I feel like they've been building up this radio for far too long, and I think it'll be the perfect way to end the season, just for, you know, that horrible tragic thing that happened in episode 15. This would give fans some hope and some happiness, especially if it's Rick Grimes. Oh man, I'll be so happy. But that is where the trailer ends for The Walking Dead season 9 episode 16, titled The Storm. Let me know in the comments down below all your thoughts and opinions about the trailer. I'd love to hear from you. You know, what do you think is gonna happen? Your predictions on the radio and the snow and all that. Let me know in the comments down below. I have more videos coming out throughout the day and throughout the week. You know, we got sneak peeks and opening minutes and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned by hitting that subscribe button. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating. And for more Walking Dead content just like this, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys later.